Hello everyone, welcome to Bonquisitive Tech Studio. So today we are gonna do some experiments with some claw instances. So if you are not basically living under a hood, you might have already heard about OpenClaw. So OpenClaw is a gateway between your agentic AI, and by agentic AI I mean a mix of tools, LLMs, memory, so that your LLM can not only just provide some text outputs, but can also actually do something, take some actions. But how is it different from other agents? So OpenClaw is basically a gateway. So it kind of acts in the mid, kind of a connection between that agents that you can create or you basically can use and your daily workflow channels, like say for example Telegram, WhatsApp, Slack, Discord, and so many others. So it kind of acts like a gateway. But at the same time, OpenClaw, while it is one of the fastest growing repo, actually it's the fastest growing repo with like more than 330,000 stars in the GitHub. There are a lot of issues with OpenClaw, right? So you might have heard about security issues. Then it actually uses a lot of configuration files, so it's very bulky. It is built with Node.js, and like it takes a lot of boot time. It takes up a lot of time, RAM, space, everything, right? But the good thing was OpenClaw is basically an open source project, so a lot of people have created a lot of variants or forks of OpenClaw, while keeping this idea similar but actually making it in different architectures, uh, basically considering the security aspects of things and many more things, right? So like the actual backend, how it's wrapped up, how the memory is written, and many different factors. Today I'm actually gonna showcase a couple of them and show you that they might be a better, I won't say better, but yeah, they can be a good alternatives of OpenClaw, and I am using them in my daily workflow. So let's actually go and visit that. So before anything, so I am in a Windows machine. What I would do is I would run it. I want to run everything in an Linux environment, Linux kernel, and this is something that I'll also recommend everyone. So whoever is basically wants to do experiments with OpenClaw, I know like you can do it with the Windows as well nowadays, but it's better to do it in Linux kernel, because there are a lot of issues that you might be getting if you are basically using Windows. So it's always better to do it in Linux kernel. I had a old laptop lying around, so what I would do is actually connect to that old laptop where Ubuntu is running. Okay, let me connect to that actually pretty quickly. Yep. So I basically connected to an old laptop. So right now I'm in Windows, but you can see like I can connect to that laptop running Ubuntu. So this is basically the same Ubuntu system, and something like this you can also basically run similar. So this is basically RAS desk, like any remote server would do basically. Right, remote desktop server would do RDP server client architecture. You can use that. Now, what are the actual products that we want to use? I have basically searched for that. So there are two things that I would gonna show you. One is called PicoClaw, and the other one is OpenFang. So PicoClaw, as the name suggests, so there are a lot of OpenClaw variants. As I said, there's Zero Claw, there's Nano Claw. Why PicoClaw? Why did I choose PicoClaw? First of all, it was completely written in Go, so it makes it a lot faster than OpenClaw. Not only that, it's very resource constraint. Like it doesn't take up much resource at all. As you can see, like the tagline itself, they say like $10 hardware, and less than 10 MB RAM, less than 1 second of boot, right? And if you like compare it with OpenClaw almost take up more than 1 GB once it's installed, whereas PicoClaw you can actually get it as a binary as well, and I'll show you how to basically install, how to do everything with PicoClaw. But you can even run it in say mobile phone as well, right? So it's so like it takes up so less amount of resource, no RAM at all, almost no RAM at all, basically. So this is why I loved PicoClaw. I have been doing a lot of experiments with PicoClaw, so that's why I wanted to talk about it, right? So if you just search for PicoClaw, you would actually visit. You will either land on this particular GitHub page, and you can go to their official, like you can see the official website somewhere mentioned. Yeah, picoclock.io. Yeah, so you can go to their official website and you can actually download the binaries. So there are always two ways. Either you can actually clone and build from the source itself, which is good for getting the latest release, or even if you are trying to develop something, if you are trying to contribute to the project, since most of these are open source projects, if you are trying to do that, it's always good to actually like just clone the repo and basically work from there. But otherwise, for normal users, you can directly like actually download the binaries that are already like compiled, right? You do not have to build it; it's already compiled for you, and you see like for different Linux architectures, you can actually find it. So for me, it's x86 64. I'll probably do it for like .dev or something, and you can install it, right? So you can see tar.gz. You can basically download the tar file and unzip it, or I already have installed it, so I have already downloaded it. Let me show you what I downloaded. I already downloaded the .deb. Okay, which is here. Yeah, you can see like for x8 64-bit architecture, you have tar file, you have .dev, you have rpm. So .dev is basically Debian package manager. So I have basically used that and already have installed it, as you can see over here. PicoClaw x86 64.dev. Now, since it's a Debian file, it's very easy to install. You can just double click on it, right? If you just double click on it, it usually opens up in the App Center. Let me see. Yeah. Or you can just click on it as well. Yeah. So now you can install it from here, or there's another way. You can just write, if you like to work with terminal, you can also do it by clicking by writing apt install, right? So apt install is how you install apps in Ubuntu, so you can do that way as well. So you can either directly just click on it, click on the install. These packages are provided. Yeah, I still want to install it. You need to provide the authentication. Let me very quickly do that. Authenticate and it will be installed. So yeah, as I said, there are a couple of ways to do that. Otherwise, you can also just go to the folder wherever it's located, just open a terminal here, or basically cd into it, and then you can actually write like uh, it's here, right? So just write, yeah, it's here. So you can directly do like sudo apt. Sudo is so that you are in the, as basically you are executing a command as an administrator. Apt install, and then you just provide the path. Yeah, so you can do this as well. Anyway, I'm not doing this as I already have installed it, and I think it's already installed, right? Yeah, it's already installed. Okay. Now, what we can do is, we have this open, right? What we can do is, we can just see what it says. PicoClaw personal AI assistant. If you just write PicoClaw now, since it's already installed, it will show you like all the available commands, agent or completion code gateway. So we want to start the gateway. right? So because at the end, as I said, like OpenClaw, PicoClaw, all of them are basically essentially it's an gateway where you can add your LLMs and add your channels, and that's how. So there are two main part. One is adding some LLM, some key to some API key to your LLMs, whatever you have, and the other part is basically creating a channel or connecting with a channel. Channel means it could be Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord, Slack, Microsoft Teams, or any webhook, basically webhook based application, if you think of that. I'll show it with Telegram. It's also like Telegram. Using Telegram is one of the easiest way to do it. And it's very like the setup is also like very easy. And I think like you all should start with Telegram. Obviously you can use other things as well, but yeah, anyway. So let me actually start. You can also actually do PicoClaw launcher, which kind of you can use this URL now, and yeah, it's started. So this is the gateway that I was talking about. So yeah, PicoClaw, actual gateway started, but yeah, I was looking into some other place, right? So that's why you see this is the actual port that it was exposing, not the 18790. Anyway, which and you can see the gateway has already started. I have to like stop it right now. So anyway, what we can do, so this is the gateway. Let me basically show it around. What you can do is, first thing first, you can go to models and credentials. So as I said, there are two main things to do. One is basically trying to add credentials to your LLMs if you have API key for. So this is the main providers: OpenAI, Anthropic, Google Antigravity. And there are a lot of models that are already here, kind of pre-built in, but you have to provide API key to kind of use it. What I am using, so obviously if you have something, you can use that. Like if you have OpenAI API key or Anthropic or any other you're using, you can use it. What I am using is KiloCode. So KiloCode is an extension, but they also have a lot of like they have something called Kilo Gateway, through which you can actually access any models you want. So this is almost similar to say Open Router, right? So you might have heard about Open Router. You can also use Open Router, by the way. So this is basically one API key to access like any models, and they basically also update the model list as well, so that any new models that are coming in, you can get access to that. So Kilo Gateway or Kilo Code, you can basically top up or basically put some credits, and you can use a API key there. And you can use the same API key in VS Code or in any IDE that you are using as well, right? So anyway, here's the also, like if you go kilo code docs or kilo.ai/docs, you actually can actually go through the documentation as well in terms of how you basically need to set it up. But it's also like OpenAI compatible, so most of the external LLM providers, so apart from OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, most of the providers, most of the other LLM providers, they follow some standardization. Either you would see like OpenAI compatible or Anthropic compatible or things like that, so that you know how to basically structure the API calls, or how to structure the base URL, and how to provide everything, right? And you would usually get it in documentation. If you are using Kilo, you can basically do it the same way that I am doing. As you can see here, it basically takes AI SDK/OpenAI. If you go to AI SDK, by the way, you would see like there are different, for different providers also, you basically get this, right? Anyway, so you usually need these two things: base URL and API key, to kind of authenticate, and you need the model ID. And how you can get the model ID? So for that, basically you can do one simple thing. In the docs also, you can actually get to that. Let me kind of duplicate it and show you. So all the models that are there, you can actually go in. Yeah, models and providers. You can see like all the available models over here. But one quick way is to actually get, like, if you just want to see or browse the whole list, the full list of models, you can just call it. So I have Postman open, and I have actually called it or anyway. But you can see, like, you just put a get request and you paste the URL, or you can do it via curl as well. I'm using Postman because in Postman you actually also like you can do a pretty visualization. Anyway, and here you can actually see all the models. So these are some automatic routers. That means like Kilo automatically routes it to a model. So you can see there are three kind of auto routers. One is Kilo Auto Frontier, which is like frontier models, mainly Opus 4.6, Sonnet 4.6, and so on and so forth. These are very costly models, by the way. I would recommend, until and unless you have a big budget, I won't recommend you to use this. Claude models are notoriously expensive. Uh, Using it in this context, in this Claw instance, which can run 24/7, and so basically these agents can consume a lot of tokens and a lot of budget. So I would not recommend you to use Claude models until and unless you have a big budget allocated to this, right? Then apart from Kilo Auto Frontier, you also have Kilo Auto Balanced. I think somewhere around, yeah, Kilo Auto Balanced, where it's uses Kimi K2.5, Minimax M2.5. These are good models, cheaper models. So like you get balance of like speed and quality and also price. Like it's not too pricey, but at the same time it's not too bad. Okay, and there's also another Kilo Auto free, but usually I have seen, like, as you can also see with Open Router, this free routing usually does not work a lot of the time, because like there are few free models available, but at the same time a lot of people usually try to call it at the same time. You would see like a lot of people in the YouTube community. I have seen people showing like, okay, you can use it for free for these many days, but usually when you actually try to do it in your actual daily workflow, you would see like most of the time it's not there. So you have to be prepared for that. I would recommend, there is a lot of cheaper models available that you can use. Like, just if you just use Kilo Auto Balance, this is a good router, because both Kimi K2.5 and Minimax M2.7, these are not that pricey. You can also look, so basically, by the way, you can also look into the actual price for each of these models, right? So if you just go, so this is, by the way, one of the free models, and it also has a corresponding pro model, Mimo V2 Pro by Xiaomi. This is a very latest model and it's working very well. You can see the price, by the way, for where you can see the price. This is a free model, but say for example, whenever you go to any other model which is not free, these are all free models. You can see there's a tag free, but any, yeah, like say for example Claude Opus 4.0, as I was saying, it's very costly, and you can see the price, by the way. For prompt, this is how much. So this is for each token, by the way, and usually you would see like any actual pricing you would see for 1 million tokens. And in these agentic use cases, when you are using OpenClaw or this PicoClaw or any kind of claw variants, millions of tokens is not something you think, oh, I won't get it. You would get it very easily, because agents require a lot of context. It would take up a lot of inputs. So you would take up that 1 million context very quickly. And if you see, if you compare the price of Opus 4.6 with some other models, other available models, then you would see like, okay, how costly that is. So you can actually compare the pricing for each of the models. For starter, I would say like you can start with something. Nemotron is a good option. Nemotron is by Nvidia. It's recently released, and it's doing good. It's doing good. There's a free version over here, as I can see. Then there are, I think there are some uh paid one. Yeah, this is a good paid one. Nvidia Nemotron Chi. Yeah. So you can use these things, right? And how to use these? So you already get this model ID. Now let me show to you how you can actually configure that in PicoClaw. So I already have actually done this part, but what you can do is you can go to add model, and you can actually provide the model alias. So this is basically how you would call. So this is the name that you provide, uh, and you basically need to do it. Then you give the model identifier, as I was saying. So you get the model identifier from here. Yeah, so this is the model identifier, model ID. This is what you need basically need to use. You need to use it completely like NVIDIA Nemotron 3, like completely. Okay, and then API key. So as I have already shown you, I already have this API key from Kilo. I can use it over here, and API base URL. So what's the actual base URL? You would also usually find it in the documentation itself. Like say for example for Kilo, this is the base URL that we need to use. api.kilo.ai/api/gateway. Sometimes it for if you are using local models through Olama, let's say Olama is exposed to a specific port only, and then usually it's /v1/chat or /v1/completions. There could be like you would actually see can see the documentation to see what's the exact base URL which is basically need to be provided. So you can do that. And usually that's all. You can toggle this default model advanced options as well. One thing that I would add, where you might get some difficulty or might get some error, is if you are using OpenAI compatible models from this say for example Kilo Gateway. This is by the way only true for Kilo Gateway or providers that you can't see here, because if you see there are a lot of providers. Mr. AI is there, Minimax is also there. So some of the models that we are actually trying to use, they're also already kind of built in here, right? Now this is a thing that you have to understand. When they have integrated this thing, they already have configured the base URL and everything. So if you are using it from Kilo Gateway, then while you are actually adding that model, what you have to do is, first of all, you will obviously give the API base URL and API, but here you also have to provide OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI slash and then the actual model. Say for example, even if you are using this Nemotron, or let me actually try to add one new model that is not added here. Let me see. I have already like Mimo True is there, Kilo Free is there, Minimax and GPT 5.4 is there. So let me take the Nemotron one. So let's say I want to use this model. So just take the actual model ID. Okay, take the model ID, and when you are trying to add the model, let's say call it Nemo 3. So this is what you are calling. So this is any name that you want to provide. Then what I would suggest you do like this, like OpenAI and then provide the model ID like this. Why? Because otherwise Kilo Gateway is not a this is a custom provider here, right? This is not built in. So we need to tell PicoClaw like this is an OpenAI compatible model, so that it understands like, okay, this is the model, this is the actual model ID. So that is why there's a prefix OpenAI slash that you need to give. Now if I just provide the API key, let me quickly provide the API key over here, and then let me also provide the base URL. So everything you should get from documentation. Usually it's not that hard. If you are using OpenAI or Anthropic API keys, those would be much quicker. But yeah, those would be pricier as well. I'm showing you a way where you can actually use it for free, use it cheaper. I won't say free, but cheaper. Even free is available as well. But anyway, now once I actually add it here, you can see yeah, so it used the API key, and you can see like this API key is used for all the other models as well, and this model is now added under OpenAI. It's already added Nemo 3. Now how do you actually use it? by the way, you can also configure channels. You can see like there are a lot of channels they provide. WhatsApp, Telegram web, since it's a Chinese, like it's built it was built in China, so a lot of like China native uh, channels are there. QQ, DingTalk, Feishu, they are were very popular in China. But anyway, I would suggest you to start with Telegram, which is very easy. Why? Because the only thing that you need to provide to here is just toggle this enable channel, and you have to provide a bot token. Now, how do you get a bot token? What you usually need to do is you have to run bot father. So if you have Telegram, you can directly go to you can search for bot father. You need to create basically a new bot. Okay, and for any new bot, if you just provide a comment slash uh, new bot, it basically asks you for a name. You need to provide that name, and then you need to again provide like the username for the bot, and that username has to end with bot, right? And then you provide a username for that bot, and then you get a token from bot father itself. You just need to copy that token and paste it over here. That's all. It's as easy as it sounds. Like it's probably 1 minute. It's not even 1 minute. It doesn't take even 1 minute. Okay, so you can do that very easily. I have already done that bot token. If anyone has any problem with that, it can be very easily shown as well. Okay, so yeah, you can create a new bot, and once you basically create a bot and kind of paste it over here, now you can start messaging from PicoClaw itself. So let me show you. I already have Telegram installed, and so this is basically my bot. This is the name that I've provided, PicoClaw Shroud of 15 bot, and I can start. So I can just if I just ask, hi, how are you doing? You see it's thinking, and it will probably give me some answer. Yeah, hey there, I'm doing great, thanks for asking. I'm PicoClaw, your personal AI assistant. I can help you with all sorts of things, from searching the web, fetching information, to managing files. What can I help you with today? So this is how you kind of integrate. Now all the integrations are done. What's the use case? Why you need to use this? The main idea is, now let's say I am using it, like I am basically running this whole PicoClaw in my in a laptop that I do not use. I can keep it on forever. You can similarly use like a VM, right, or a cloud VM as well. Say in a VPS, like you can do it in a AWS. You would also get some free tier in AWS or DigitalOcean, or in anything, any cloud provider that you want. You basically secure a very small VPS, which would require very small. You can basically have a very small SSD and RAM as well, because PicoClaw doesn't take up much space. You have already seen that. Now you keep it on 24/7. Now why 24/7? Now because if you want to chat, or if you want to do anything with this agent, you can do it from your Telegram itself. Telegram is something which is basically you have your mobile, you have your application open anytime. You can ask it anytime. So say for example, if you're going somewhere, you can still ask like, okay, I want this information, please fetch me this information. But you would ask like, okay, you can do that in mobile as well. What you can't do easily in mobile is actually running an application. Let's say building an application. If you are trying to build something, how would you build? So for those kind of applications, PicoClaw would be a great I would say use case. So and this is actually goes for all of the variants, right? So PicoClaw, OpenClaw, NanoClaw, everything for them, this remote accessing and trying to execute, trying to build things, and that is the main differentiator from normal agents, where you have to basically sit at the desktop, sit at the system, and actually do the work yourself, actually provide instructions there then and there. So this is how it's kind of different, and this is what convenience you get when you install this. So it's already a long video, so I won't talk much about. But so PicoClaw, I just wanted to showcase this because this is a great alternative to OpenClaw, and I would think like this is something that people can use, which is very lightweight. It doesn't take up much resources. So this is something that you can actually basically take into your daily workflow as well. So hope you learned something. Hope you use PicoClaw, and let me know how you actually what are the use cases that you actually can you are using it for. Okay, let's see you quickly enough. Bye bye.